Jamie gets a little something something. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. Welcome to another beautiful day on the Time Treadmill. I hope you're all staying home and staying safe. Today I wrapped up watching the Faceless ones, episode 5 and 6. I have just a couple of random disconnected thoughts about it, so let's dive right into it. First off, I think one of my favorite moments in the whole thing is when Jamie is saying goodbye to Samantha, the character who was supposed to become a new companion, and the actress turned down the role. So the two of them had formed a close friendship over the course of the story, and upon saying goodbye to each other, Samantha actually gives Jamie a friendly little kiss to say goodbye. It's just a neat little moment, and I really do kind of wonder what might have happened had Samantha stayed on board the TARDIS. Speaking of Jamie, another interesting thing, this story has the only time that I'm aware of that actor Fraser Hines spoke without a Scottish accent. At a certain point in the story, Jamie gets copied by one of the chameleons, and so he has a couple of scenes as Chameleon Jamie. And the interesting thing about that is the transfer process didn't bring over his Scottish brogue, so Jamie has several lines of dialogue in which he speaks with a straight, neutral British accent. And it's so strange that even the Doctor himself comments on it. It is so odd to hear Fraser Hines speak without a Scottish brogue. It's almost like hearing David Tennant speak with a Scottish brogue. But anyway, another kind of neat moment. The other thing I'll say about this story, as I said previously, episodes 2, 4, 5, and 6 are all completely lost from the BBC archive. And that includes the big revelation later in the story that the chameleons have an orbiting satellite 150 miles above the surface of the Earth. And so there are a couple of sequences in the latter half of the story where an aircraft turns on its tail and flies straight up out of the Earth's atmosphere and then docks with the chameleon space station. Now in the loose cannon reconstruction, they actually did a CGI reconstruction with a CGI model of an airplane flying straight up and meeting the space station, and I so wish I could have seen the original effects for this. I mean, I know, 1967 BBC, they were, I'm sure, pretty dodgy and just miniatures on strings, but I would have loved to have seen it. I'm glad that Loose Cannon went the extra mile to do the CGI recreation. It really does help with the telling of the story, but in terms of lost effects, that's one that I really would have loved to have seen. I'll be curious whenever the animated reconstruction makes it over to North America to see how they show it and what their interpretation of the Chameleon space station is. I'm very, very curious, but I don't suppose I'll be finding that out anytime soon. So that wraps it up for the Faceless ones. Easily my favorite of the Second Doctor stories. It's just a great, great story for the era, and I heartily recommend it for you to seek out. It definitely gets the sweaty thoughts seal of approval. Tomorrow I move on to a new companion in Victoria and a 7-part Dalek story, The Evil of the Daleks. And I will say, generally, I dislike Dalek stories. This next one, as I recall, it's one that I actually do like. It's been a couple of years since I've watched it, so we'll see how much I remember. Unfortunately, it's a fundamentally lost story, but it does, if memory serve, has the first appearance of an Emperor Dalek. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. And until then, like I always say, stay safe, stay home, be kind, and be patient.